Welcome back to the Speak English podcast. Today, we're diving into some fantastic conversation starters.
Let's do it. It's going to be a great episode.
Let me ask you something. How many times have you said, I'll start tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'll wake up early. Tomorrow I'll exercise. Tomorrow I'll study. Tomorrow I'll finally change my life.
But then tomorrow comes and nothing changes.
Days turn into weeks. Weeks turn into months. And slowly, we begin losing time we can never get back.
There's something dangerous about the word tomorrow. It sounds harmless at first, but quietly, it steals our potential. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Speak English podcast. We're really happy that you're here with us today.
This is the place where we talk about life, personal growth, confidence, and becoming a better version of yourself step by step.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Jake.
Today's topic is something that almost everyone struggles with. We're talking about procrastination.
It means delaying things, even when we know they're important.
Maybe there's something you've wanted to start for a long time. Maybe you want to learn English, start going to the gym, create a YouTube channel, or change your life in some meaningful way.
And every day you tell yourself, I'll begin soon.
But then life gets busy, you feel tired, distracted, or completely unmotivated.
So you wait for a better mood, a better time, or a better version of yourself.
But here's the strange thing. We often wait for motivation before we start, when actually taking action is what creates motivation.
Think about how many times this has happened to you. You make plans at night while feeling excited and inspired.
You tell yourself, tomorrow will be different. Tomorrow I'll finally become productive.
And then tomorrow arrives, and suddenly your bed feels more comfortable than your goals.
Or maybe you keep waiting because you're afraid. You're afraid of failing, afraid of making mistakes, and afraid that you won't succeed.
So delaying things feels safer than trying.
But the problem is, waiting slowly becomes a habit.
And after some time, we stop trusting ourselves.
Because deep inside, we know what we should be doing. We're just not doing it.
And honestly, that feeling can become very heavy.
So, why do people delay things so much, even when they truly want to change?
So, if procrastination is something almost everyone struggles with, why do we keep delaying things even when we know they're important?
One big reason is fear. Not always fear of failure, sometimes even fear of success.
Fear of success? What does that mean?
Imagine someone who wants to start a business. Deep inside, they know their life could change completely. More responsibility, more pressure, more uncertainty.
So sometimes people stay inside their comfort zone, even when they're unhappy there.
Another reason is overthinking. Some people spend so much time planning that they never actually begin.
Yes, they wait for the perfect plan, the perfect timing, and the perfect conditions.
Think about someone who wants to start exercising. Instead of simply taking a walk today, they spend weeks watching workout videos, comparing gym memberships, searching for the best routine, but never actually start.
And honestly, overthinking can feel productive sometimes because your mind stays busy, even though no real action is happening.
Another major reason is comfort. Human beings naturally choose what feels easy.
Watching videos feels easier than studying. Sleeping feels easier than waking up early. Scrolling on your phone feels easier than working on your goals.
And the dangerous part is, comfort slowly becomes a habit.
Day after day, we choose temporary comfort over long-term growth.
Another reason people procrastinate is because tasks feel too big. When something feels overwhelming, the brain naturally wants to escape from it.
Imagine a student who needs to study an entire chapter. Instead of starting with one page, they look at the whole chapter and think, this is too much. So they delay it again and again.
But usually the problem is not the work itself. The problem is the pressure we create around it.
And sometimes procrastination comes from low self-confidence. Deep inside, some people don't fully believe they can succeed.
So they delay starting because avoiding failure feels safer than trying.
A person may dream about starting a YouTube channel for years but never upload the first video.
Not because they're lazy, but because they're scared of judgment.
And honestly, almost everyone experiences these feelings sometimes.
The difference is, some people learn to act even while feeling uncomfortable. So procrastination is caused by fear, overthinking, comfort, and self-doubt. So far, we talked about why procrastination happens, how our brain chooses short-term comfort over long-term growth. But now comes the bigger question. What is procrastination actually costing us?
Most people think they're only losing time, but honestly, the cost is much bigger than that.
Every time we delay something important, we slowly damage our confidence.
How?
Because every time you tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, and then don't do it, your brain starts losing trust in you.
And after repeating this pattern for months or years, people begin doubting themselves. Maybe I'm just lazy. Maybe I can never change.
But many times the real problem is not laziness, it's repeated disappointment in yourself. Imagine someone who promises themselves every night, tomorrow I'll wake up early. But every morning they hit the snooze button again. At first it feels like a small thing, but slowly they stop believing their own promises.
Procrastination also creates regret, and regret becomes heavier with time.
Sometimes people look back after years and realize, I had the idea, I had the opportunity, I wanted to start, but they kept waiting.
And honestly, few things are more painful than realizing you wasted your own potential.
Another hidden cost is stress. People think procrastination reduces pressure, but usually it creates even more pressure later.
Think about a student who delays studying for an exam. At first, they feel relaxed because they avoided the work.
But as the exam gets closer, anxiety becomes stronger and stronger.
So, procrastination gives temporary comfort but long-term stress.
It also steals opportunities from our lives. Sometimes people wait so long that the opportunity disappears completely.
Someone wants to apply for a job, but keeps delaying the application. They keep thinking, I'll do it later, and one day the deadline passes.
Or maybe someone dreams about starting a YouTube channel, but keeps waiting for perfect confidence. And years later, they're still only thinking about it.
The truth is, waiting has a price, a very expensive price.
Because time keeps moving whether we take action or not.
And one day, I'll start tomorrow quietly becomes, I wish I had started earlier.
That's why taking small action today matters so much. Because small action may look insignificant now, but over time, it completely changes lives.
So, if waiting is costing us so much, so how do we finally break this cycle and start moving forward? How do we stop waiting and actually begin?
The first step is simple. Stop waiting for perfect motivation.
Because motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel inspired, and some days you don't.
But successful people do not take action only when they feel motivated. They like to take action even on ordinary days.
Think about brushing your teeth. You probably don't feel deeply motivated every morning. You simply do it because it became a habit.
And that's important. Real change happens through systems and habits, not temporary motivation.
Another powerful thing is starting small. Very small. Smaller than your brain can make excuses for.
If exercising for 1 hour feels overwhelming, start with 5 minutes.
If studying an entire chapter feels stressful, start with 1 page.
If creating a YouTube channel feels scary, start with recording 1 simple video.
Because action creates momentum, and momentum makes the next step easier.
Another important thing is reducing pressure. Many people procrastinate because they make everything feel too serious.
Someone wants to learn English, but they expect themselves to become fluent immediately. So every small mistake feels like failure.
But growth does not work like that. Improvement is slow, messy, and imperfect.
Another powerful habit is focusing only on today, not the next 5 years, just today.
Sometimes goals feel overwhelming because we think too far ahead. We think about the entire journey instead of the next small step.
A person who wants to lose weight may think this will take months and immediately feel discouraged.
But focusing on today feels lighter. Today, I'll eat better. Today, I'll go for a walk.
Small daily actions may not look impressive in the moment, but they slowly transform lives.
And honestly, starting badly is still better than never starting.
Your first video may not be amazing. Your first workout may feel awkward. Your first attempt may look messy.
But at least you started.
Because people often think action creates confidence. But first, action creates evidence.
Evidence?
Yes, evidence that you are capable of changing.
Every small promise you keep to yourself rebuilds self-trust.
And slowly, the person who kept saying, "I'll start tomorrow," becomes someone who says, "I'll start today."
But even after starting, many people still struggle to stay consistent.
So, how do we keep going when motivation disappears?
Starting something is difficult, but staying consistent can feel even harder.
Because in the beginning, motivation feels exciting. You feel inspired, energetic, and ready to change your life.
But after a few days, reality appears. You feel tired, busy, distracted.
And suddenly, the same goal that felt exciting now feels difficult.
That's why consistency is not about feeling motivated every day. It's about continuing even on low energy days.
Think about someone learning English. Some days they feel excited to practice, but other days they don't feel like studying at all.
The people who improve are not always the most talented. Usually, they are the people who continue anyway.
That's why one of the smartest things you can do is make your goals easier to continue, not bigger, easier.
If your goal is too extreme, your brain gets exhausted quickly. For example, I'll study 5 hours every day. It sounds impressive, but often becomes impossible to maintain.
A smaller goal is usually more sustainable.
I'll study for 20 minutes daily. Feels lighter and easier to repeat consistently. Another important part of consistency is protecting your focus, because focus is very fragile.
Imagine sitting down to work, but your phone keeps vibrating every few minutes. One notification becomes 10 minutes, and suddenly your focus disappears completely.
Sometimes the problem is not lack of discipline. Sometimes the environment is working against you.
Another powerful habit is tracking small progress, because progress creates encouragement.
Imagine exercising for a month. You may not see dramatic results immediately, but if you compare yourself to where you started, you realize you've already improved.
And honestly, consistency is less about intensity and more about repetition.
Small actions repeated daily become habits, and habits slowly shape your future.
So don't focus only on huge results. Focus on becoming the kind of person who shows up regularly.
A person who reads one page daily still becomes a reader. A person who exercises a little consistently still becomes healthier.
And maybe that's the real secret. Big change usually begins with very small actions repeated consistently.
So, if small actions repeated daily can slowly transform our lives, then maybe the most important step is simply deciding to begin today.
So maybe the real question is not, can your life change? Maybe the real question is, when will you finally begin?
Because honestly, a life changes very slowly when we wait, but it can change very quickly once we start taking action.
Not huge action, small action.
One workout, one page, one video uploaded, one honest conversation. Small actions often look insignificant in the beginning.
But small actions are powerful because they break inertia. They prove to your brain, I am no longer standing still.
And maybe that's what most people are truly waiting for. Not a perfect opportunity, but proof that change is possible.
The truth is, there will never be a perfect time. You will still feel uncertain sometimes. You will still feel afraid sometimes. And that's completely normal.
But imagine what could happen if you stopped waiting for perfect conditions. Imagine where your life could be 1 year from now if you started today.
Maybe your English would improve. Maybe your confidence would grow. Maybe your health would change. Maybe your entire future would look different.
And all of that could begin with one small decision, the decision to stop postponing your life.
Because procrastination is not only delaying tasks. Sometimes we're delaying our own potential.
And honestly, time moves faster than we think. Days become months, months become years.
That's why this moment matters. Not tomorrow, not next Monday. Today.
Start before you feel fully ready. Start before everything feels perfect. Start while you are still scared.
Because confidence often comes after action, not before it.
And one day, your future self will look back and feel grateful, not because you were perfect, but because you finally started.
So if you're listening to this right now, let this be your sign.
Send the message, start the project, study the chapter, record the video, take the first step today.
And before we end this episode, we want you to write one sentence in the comments. I will start today.
Not for us, for yourself, as a promise, as a reminder that your goals still matter.
And whenever you feel like giving up, come back to this moment.
Remember why you started. Remember the person you want to become. Keep growing, keep learning, keep believing in your progress even when it feels slow.
Because slow progress is still progress, and every step forward matters.
Even the days when you feel tired, even the moments when you doubt yourself, you are still becoming stronger through consistency.
Thank you for spending this time with us.
We truly hope this episode gave you motivation, not just to think differently, but to act differently. Because inspiration means nothing without action, and your future is built by what you do next.
We'll see you in the next episode on the Speak English podcast.
Until then, keep practicing, keep improving one day at a time, and never underestimate the power of starting small. Bye, everyone. Take care of yourselves, and don't stop believing in what's possible for your life.
Goodbye. Your journey is only beginning.